We're into the second third, starting to push up into the second third, and it's just delicious. It's delicious. It's earthy, it's woody, it's meaty. If I could use one word to describe the cigar, it would be meaty. It's really meaty. It's got a good amount of salt. It's even got that taste of, like, you know, there's the twang, and then there's this taste of, like, the best I could describe it, man. It's like, you know, like a very rare steak, you know, where you get some of that blood there, you know. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. And it's also fairly full-bodied. Powerful, but I'm not feeling the full effects of this one yet. However, it does have me very, like, you know, relaxed and secure in my own person, is what I like to say. That's what cigars do to me, you know. So, Mr. DB Cooper 456, great channel. Got into cigars a year ago and loved the Ashton Classics, Oliva Milanio, San Latano Oval. Any new things to look out for? Well, I sent a message back to this guy already. First of all, whoa, Ashton Classic, Oliva Milanio, right there. I mean, you got a range here that's like bang. You have a mild body Connecticut shade wrapper, a Dominican cigar, and then you got a fucking full body Nicaraguan power, you know, Nicaraguan cigar. That's a huge range. If you like both those cigars, you're asking me what else to look out for. Everything, man. You know, everything. There's tons of stuff in that range. But here's the thing I usually tell people, especially, you know what, you've been smoking cigars for a year, and he's saying anything new to look out for. Dude, there's always new things coming out to look out for, but there must be 800,000 cigars that you haven't tried yet. And when trying new cigars, a lot of people would be like, you know, for instance, I like the Ashton Classics. Do you have something comparable that I might like? That's fine. Do that, but don't be afraid to try new cigars, you know, because you may like a different flavor profile even more that you don't know about because you're not going outside of your range. You don't have to go to a medium or full body if you like a mild cigar, but there are certainly 101 cigars I could recommend, you know, that if you like the Ashton Classic, you might like that. Anyway, the one I gave him in that family, I said try Diamond Crown. You know, because Ashton Classic, you have a really nice Connecticut shade wrapper, Dominican filler binder, and it's a mild-bodied smoke. Diamond Crown is, for all intents and purposes, the exact same setup. Connecticut shade, Dominican binder filler, except the Connecticut shade wrapper on a Diamond Crown goes through a very special fermentation process. Gives it a really creamy texture to the smoke, and it has a really nice overall profile. You know, some subtly sweet type notes with something that's almost even like a little, I want to say vanilla almondish in that cigar. Very nice cigar. So that's that, man. You know, you got 1,000,001 cigars. I'm not even going to tell you are the new things to look out for. Of course, every day. The one new thing I'm looking out for is something. I put this together. I said, you know, I think I said this in a video before, maybe an exclusive one. I said, you know, Padron, every year since the 44, they did a special family blend cigar, you know, family reserve cigar. The 44, the 45, the 46. Then they said, okay, it's Jose Orlando's 85th birthday. We'll do an 85 instead of another 40-something. And then all of a sudden, quiet. No new special cigar. They came out with a few new vitolas. You know, they came out with that the number 4, which is like a giant, like a big. It's almost like a Padron 7000, but in the 64 range. You know, but nothing in the family. Then I said, oh, they must be fucking cooking something right now, man. Because guess what? 2014, it's their 50th anniversary. It's the company's 50th anniversary. They are fucking, look, mark my words, they are fucking cooking something. And knowing Padron, it'll probably be spectacular. It'll also probably be insanely fucking strong. So, if you want something more like an Ashton Classic, I'd stay away from that. This smoke is not burning anything. My sinuses, my throat, my eyes, I'm all up in it, and it's just like so fucking smooth. It's so smooth. It's just so well done. you know, I can see why so many people love this cigar, especially on the American market, where a lot of people, full-bodied cigars are popular these days. You know, this is very full for a Cuban cigar. By most standards, Cuban cigars run in the medium range. You know, full-bodied cigars, different full-bodied cigars are not that easy to come by. You have you have Cahiba, Trinidad's can be pretty full-bodied sometimes, Partagas. But for most brands, you either have mild, medium. This is a full-bodied cigar, and it's absolutely delicious. It's also not extremely complex. I can't say it's very complex because there's just, beside that twang and the wood base and the very, very, very meaty, earthy flavor and that lot of salt, I would just say I'm getting the flavors of some of Cuba's best tobacco. That's what I'm getting. And there's not, I'm not, like the Partagas Short, that was a fucking complex little cigar. You had some vanilla going on, some black cherry, some like ginger snap kind of graham crackery effect. It just had a little bit of everything all over the place. And this is staying right where it has been pretty much since I started burning it, with an occasional subtle hint of something sweet that I can't put my finger on. Maybe something like dried apricot. I don't know, but it's not, for complexity, I may give the cigar a 0.5, maybe even 0.2. I mean, it's really not a very complex cigar. So it's easy to understand, aside from being full body, why it's so very popular with so many American customers. Not that I'm saying you guys have bad palates and you don't understand complex cigars. I'm just saying cigars that are easier to smoke in general are more popular, are favorited above cigars that are harder to enjoy. I'm the same way. I'd rather have these than some of the most complex cigars on earth, really. Complexity is a good attribute, but only if you can enjoy the rest of the cigar. Not if you're constantly searching for something, Just fucking great, though. Just great, man. Just great. Wow. So, we got two here that are pretty much very similar. I'll read them both. Mitch Rogers. I really love these videos, even if I'm the only one who watches them. Thanks a lot, Mitch. You're not the only one. There is one or two other people out there that I talk to. You're one of the most knowledgeable guys on YouTube, and you keep it relaxed. Godspeed with your goal of 365 reviews. Ha ha! Ha ha! Oh, ha ha! Like, yeah, right. 300. Yeah, you'll fucking do that, Joe. This guy's funny. I like him. But really, thank you for your ego boost and your affirmation that you feel that I have some knowledge, and that's great. I feel like I do too. Most knowledgeable guys I couldn't say because I really haven't looked at everybody else's reviews. I've looked at a few. I'll read the other one first before I make a bit of a point. Joe, I like the show because your reviews are different. Oh, this is from Chicago Card Guy. Your reviews are different. Keep it up. Keep it going. The other channels are carbon copies of each other. Alright, so you know what? That's where I want to go with this, and what I want to say is this. There must be 800 people out there that want to do cigar reviews, Everybody, especially, you got guys into cigars for a few months, and they're excited about it. They love it. They're like, wow, they look at all these different cigars, and the people are great, the culture is great, the art is great, the bands are great, and I have a band collection, a box collection, fucking going crazy, and now, I want to review these things. I want to... Sure, by all means, go ahead and do it. But the thing is this, anybody can review a cigar. Anybody can review a cigar. My mom can review a cigar. All she has to do is light it, stick it in her mouth, and that doesn't sound right, and fucking start talking about what she tastes. She's reviewing a cigar. But it's much more difficult to review a cigar and constantly always find something new to go off on a tangent and talk about because of something that's going on in that cigar. For instance, whatever, terminology or complexity, or there are so many fucking different issues. As you know, when you watch the Dr. Joe show, it's more akin, and this is the way I want it to be, it's more akin to watching a talk radio kind of show, only like internet camera kind of show, about cigars, where during each episode we are reviewing a cigar as well. Because we talk about a lot of things here, We do viewer emails, It depends on what day of the week it is. We do different cigars. And I like to keep it that way. I really do. My knowledge helps me. I've been smoking cigars for over 12 years now, maybe even longer. I can't quite remember exactly when I started. Those were some crazy days back then. But you know, and then I have 5 years experience working at a tobacco shop, one of the finest in all, you know, where I am. Some of you know, and I'm not going to keep saying it online because I don't want everybody in the world to know, but the people who are closest, the viewers or subscribers who are closest, I don't really care if you know. But it really, I don't just say that because I work there. It really is, by all standards and definitions, known as one of the premier, you know, and it's not Davidoff, so, you know, it's not Nat Sherman either. But I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. And those were some of the best years of my life. And I would say, easily, without even thinking about it, I learned more in those 5 years. Shit, if I was only there for 2 years, I would have learned more then than I learned in the entire other 12 years of my cigar smoking. You know, working, I said it before and I'll say it again. If you love cigars, truly love cigars, not, you know, you've been doing it, let's say 3 years you've been smoking, not just like, you know, smoking. People do grow out of it. They do. It happens. But if you truly love cigars and you're working a job where working at a cigar shop wouldn't be such a big lifestyle change for you and you can afford to do that, by all means fucking do it, you will love it. Not that, you know, you may have to search around for the right shop for you. There are always different, very, very different, you know, a different ambiance to different shops, a different culture, a different people, and there are also different bosses. There are some cigar shops I know friends who work for, you're not allowed to fucking smoke a cigar while you're working. That's fucking bullshit, man. You know? How am I supposed to give people recommendations if brand new cigars come in and I can't fucking have one? Anyway, whatever. To those people I say, fuck you. But, you know, there was my friend who worked for one guy and, you know, they were allowed to smoke one cigar a day, but only from the damage bin. And they had to pay for the cost of it. From the damage bin. And they could only do one a day, and they had to pay for the cost of the cigar from the damage bin. You are an asshole, dude. You're an asshole. And this guy is a huge online retailer. I'm not going to say his name, I'm not going to say who it is, but he's a dick. He's a dick, and he really does exist. I'm not making this shit up. So, that's that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Mitch, as my only viewer. You're really great. You know? Thank you, Chicago Card Guy. You guys make me feel great with these comments. And I know that what you see, I think other people will start to see. And I think other people will become interested if they take the time to listen. A lot of people out there don't like to listen. You know, they want to review 1, 2, 3. Will I like the cigar or not? Bang, bang, bang. But you know what? Consider this. Other reviewers, how often have you ever seen another reviewer smoke a cigar and say, that cigar was terrible, I didn't like that cigar? How many times have you seen a reviewer give a score to a cigar under an 80 or under 3 stars? You know, they're not being real. They're not being real. I think some of them are afraid to go against the companies, and others get free products and shit from companies, which is going to bring me to my next email. So let's get into that and talk about this cigar a little more. But again, guys, thank you very much. You rule, and it's because of you that I'm here. And shit, actually, I'd be here anyway if nobody was watching, because I fucking love doing it. You know, I'm a little selfish that way. I mean, this is what I want to do. So, what else? I'm playing Architect, but I want to see how long this baby can get. I'm gonna slide this band off. It slides right off there. Put that over there, and we shall see. I'm gonna hold it over here. All right, so we're done with the basically, well, very close to getting into the last third of the cigar. The second third was not unlike the first third. Very similar, very intense, salty, meaty, woody, earthy flavor with some spice. Less spice now than in the beginning. Very cool smoke, fairly creamy, leaves a fairly creamy taste in the mouth. You know, almost like when you drink a glass of milk or something and put it down, and after that, that's the feeling I'm getting in my mouth. Like I just drank a glass of milk a minute ago. Very, very creamy, delicious. Delicious. Double puffing a little. I have a feeling that I might, it's burning, but I might be going out. I might be tunneling a teeny bit. I'm not sure. We'll find out. out. Might have to touch it up a tiny bit. So, really cool thing. We did our little Nestor Miranda review on the Art Deco, and I was commented on by Miami Cigar Barry. Apparently, this guy works for Miami Cigar or something. He's got a whole bunch of videos of rolling at the factory and special Miami Cigar releases and everything. You know, I think that's really cool, you know, to get a comment from somebody who actually works for one of these companies and they're checking up on people reviewing their cigars. That says something about the company, that they give a shit what other people are saying. And you know what? I give a shit what he says. And it's two things. Number one, it had to do with something I said. He said, "Thanks for the review. I just wanted to address stems. When tobacco is processed for the roller," I said there's some, when I first showed the cigar, I think I said there's a few stems in the filler. When tobacco is processed for the roller, the center vein of the tobacco leaf is stripped from the leaf. That's what you know in Cuban cigars, they do this V-notch. They're cutting out the center vein. Anyway, however, the remaining veins, these are all the ones coming off the side, remain in the architecture of the leaf. These are not stems and cannot be removed. Now, I know that, and I think what we have here is a really huge misnomer, because everybody I've ever known in the cigar shop, in the cigar world, even when they talk about, you know, Cuban cigars online, if they show the foot of a cigar and, you know, you have your leaves and then you have those little stick things that are kind of rough and gnarly, people call them stems. Barry is right, they're not stems, they're veins. They're leftover veins, they're veins that are still in the leaf, and they're the ends of them. And I'm gonna have to relight this. And what happens is, you know, as you roll, you can't remove them, and they end up showing at the foot of the cigar. Thicker tobacco, though, here's the thing. This is why it's important in Cuban cigars mostly. Thicker tobacco will have thicker veins. You know, for instance, Connecticut broadleaf will have some very thick veins. Or what we're talking about here in the filler, what you guys will call stems. When somebody looks at the foot of a Cuban cigar and sees a lot of these, they question the authenticity of the cigar. And that is because Cuban cigar leaf in general has very, very thin veins, which will end up with a foot that will look like it has either none and it's all just leaf, or maybe a few tiny ones. But if you start getting some big gnarly ones, which is typical of you know, cigars in the Nicaraguan market especially, where the veins are much thicker in this stuff, blah blah blah. Does it mean it's a bad cigar? We're not addressing the issue of authenticity, genuineness of a Cuban cigar? Not at all. Not at all. And it had a few of these little, okay, veins, we'll call them veins now, in the filler. And I said that sometimes this can signify a possible harshness, you know, because they are, for all intents and purposes, woody. And when they dry, the thicker they are, that's why people call them stems, because that's what they look at like. A cigar roll that actually has the stem, you have your stem and then the leaf, if it has stems in it, it's a very poorly produced cigar. And this is not stems in this Art Deco cigar, it is veins. And no, my theory did not apply here. It did not add any harshness to the cigar because there was very little, if any. It was a very smooth, very good cigar. Anyway, that being addressed, now we know about this misnomer. Barry also said, "Thanks for a great review. Hope to cross paths one day and discuss some of your theories in person. Drop me an email and I'll put you on our distribution list for samples and press releases." Now,